Hey, folks, welcome back to another episode, if you will, of The Bottom Line as we dig through the scoop and get it for you and try to find out and get all these details together and find a solution somewhere with our topic. And right now we're going to be talking about no collusion, no obstruction, maybe in the Mueller case, as they pronounce it, Robert Mueller investigating the Trump administration, and Mike Carlucci, as I said here, and the great Richard Boddie. How are you, my friend? Always good to hear and see you.
Excellent.
And you're looking great, by the way. And
It's all an act.
it's all an act. It's all an act, I tell you. I'm bringing the best guy in here to tell us what's going on here, all the legality issues, 3 decades or more in the law business. Richard, the Mueller case went on for, 2 years, $25 million spent, taxpayer money, obstruction, collusion. Did the Trump administration involve themselves with the Ruskies, with the Putin people? They say no. The Mueller case said no, but of course the thing hasn't come public yet. So,
Well,
what's your scoop on that?
even if it becomes public, the fact is the prosecutor, who happened to have been one of those prosecutors for many, many years, who became head of the FBI, who has, in his record, proven to be a very non-political man, put on this whole investigation for 2 years and concluded that there was not a crime committed with the facts that were supposedly all over the paper. There was no crime committed by the Donald regarding Russia. And people are surprised by that because they're saying, I want to see the whole thing. Well, if they see the whole thing, they're just going to say, well, he ought to be impeached for this, 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 and this, without understanding the basis of impeachment, high crimes and misdemeanors, or try to connect things that Schiff, the congressman who was the we're going to get this guy, Trump, had put out there. I personally think that when they open it up, if they open it up, there'll be demands like they were for Trump's taxes and all that kind of stuff, as if there's something in the Constitution that says you must be able to see the president's taxes. That's a myth.
Yeah.
There's nothing also that says there should be transparency in this case.
Yeah, they keep bugging us about, I want to see those tax returns. To me, yeah, that's personal business. Just because you're president,
Private.
to me, yeah, it's private. Just because you're the president does not mean you can look in my files and
Exactly.
stay out of my file cabinet.
Exactly. Well, the same respect. These are the same people that are asking to see the entire report of Mueller so they can then say, now we can bring this action against him in order to impeach him. Well, quiet as it's kept, I'm sure Mueller's smart enough to not have left anything hidden that could eventually come out, number one, in order to impeach Trump.
Yeah.
And if the Democrats are surprised at what happened too, they have to look back at the fact that Mueller was a Republican and he's a part of the game. Where they thought he'd switch, I don't know. Once again, based upon Congressman Schiff, the Democrats' hype of what had gone on from what he's personally said he knew.
Yeah.
And they're talking about collusion to get the election done. Well, there's some issues as to whether the Obama administration put some plans into the Trump people's groups to try to get them to be involved with the collusion.
Yeah, you wonder. Yeah, that's
because
a big hype.
we go fast forward with a new investigation. Because if you allow this thing to be opened up and it is shown to the public, and everybody gets their own opinion that this is an impeachable event, etc., you're going to then have to also do that with the Clinton-Russia connection, which nobody wants to seem to talk about.
Right.
And now
they want to hide it.
They're going to find something there. And one of the things that I look at, too, when the Democrats are hollering about due process and opening up the situation and let's see what's going on, they never wanted to do that when things are reversed. So I don't see... I was watching the African-American congressman from Brooklyn on Trevor Noah's show the other night. Articulate guy. I think he's head of the Black Caucus in Congress, House of Representatives and all. And he said something along the lines, he was talking all my stuff, talking about Constitution, talking about due process, talking about individual rights, talking all libertarian stuff. I was saying, whoa, come on, man. You know better than that. And even touting the fact that they were able to come up with some sort of a new law that Trump signed regarding minorities and African Americans being disproportionately jailed in our system, that we need to change the jail system. And Trump came out with signing the law, which was Democrat and Republican, a bipartisan decision regarding the what do they call the imbalance of crime and not adjudication, but incarceration of African Americans,
Right.
and minorities. And even surprised the hell out of me on that very point. I'm trying to remember his name, Von whatever, Marxist black lawyer on TV, has a national show, used to be big in the administration for Obama and all. Van Jones.
Oh, Van Jones.
Van Jones.
I was thinking of a Dutch guy. You said
Right,
Van,
Van.
like Van Hoosenhuizen or
Van
something.
Jones
Van
came
Hoosen
out and
Van
said
Jones, yeah.
that maybe in this case, libertarians and conservatives have a real good point. I'm saying, whoa, I never dreamed I'd hear Van Jones say that
Van.
before.
Is that the real Van? I'm
Yeah,
not sure
I
about
think
that.
he might-
Question
yeah.
mark Van Jones, yeah.
But all of this Mueller investigation and conspiracy stuff, they were just depending upon that and spending an inordinate amount of time over the past 2 years. And then you get the Donald who's trying to be like, oh, this vindicates me. Well, it doesn't really vindicate you, because there's stuff in there that makes you look like an immoral son of a gun, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You're no pyramid of virtue when it comes down to what I want this person to be related to me or be my offspring or whatever in the presidency. I just think our political bipolarization of our political system today is a direct result of, once again, I've said it before, and I think I've even said it on the show here, direct result of social media, which causes people to say things that they would never say if they could be cross-examined or challenged.
But he's yet to be cross-examined, hasn't he?
Great. So this is an interesting phenomenon. Democrats are just foaming at the mouth to see this report. It'd be interesting if when the report comes out, it shows nothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, like Mueller and Barr, they kind of just, well, here it is. There's no obstruction, no collusion, and they just kind of, they were very casual about it. They didn't give a hint, but former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani, had said something like, you're going to be surprised when you read this thing. It's going to blow your mind. So we're going, well, like you said, is it something to do with the Obama administration, the Clinton administration, somebody around those two administrations? I mean, somebody was holding the flag on this one, you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, one of the things that nobody has mentioned too, when you look back at Comey and Comey being fired, but previous to that, Comey's biggest thing that made him famous was to say Hillary did not do anything wrong by dumping 30,000 emails.
Yeah.
That it was no crime committed by Hillary Clinton when she was Secretary of State that gave special privilege to Saudi Arabia and Russia to come in and get deals done.
Yes.
There was nothing wrong with all of that. And Comey said it 3 days or 4 days before the election. And the Republicans are saying, that's terrible. You shouldn't have done that. And the whole thing is reversed now. And the Democrats are now saying, oh, we want Mueller to show everything he's got. Well, what about Comey? Comey didn't seem to be honest there either.
Yeah, where's his paperwork? You know what I'm saying?
Let's see what happened on that one that nobody knows. But the media, once they tag you to say you're the good guy and another person is the bad guy, and then whatever it is that CNN will say, good guy, bad guy, and whatever they say, Fox News will say the opposite.
Bad guy, good guy.
So you have people are buying products because these are commercial stations that would have never bought anything if they're watching BBC World News.
Right.
That's a darn good news information channel.
And speaking of a product, we have a new product here. It blends in with my shirt. You can barely see it, but we have a new sponsor. It's Almond Roca, chocolate almond Roca. It's the dark roast. Dark Roca, I mean, it's not coffee, but it's dark Roca. Delicious candies. You get them at Costco. You get them everywhere. So we appreciate the sponsorship here for this episode. Almond Roca's Dark Roca, fantastic flavor. Here, I'll give that to you. I know you like.
Looks just like your shirt.
Yeah, it does. It blends
right
in. Yeah, perfect. So.
And also, is it related to Al?
El Roco.
Oh, okay.
El Roca. Al Roca. I like it. Yeah. Almond Roca. Very nice. appreciate them sponsoring this episode. So, a couple things here I want to run by you. Now, we talk about Fox, CNN, OAN network, news networks. People say, oh, one goes left, one goes right. But the one that goes right majority of the time, Fox News, they just hired Donna Brazile
Yes.
as a correspondent and reporter. I think they're going to give her a show as well. Now, isn't that the woman that gave Hillary all the questions that were going to be on the debate with Bernie Sanders?
Yes, and she also wrote the book afterwards of how the Democratic Party screwed her.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the title of the book, but it came out shortly after the election,
Mm-hmm.
and she exposed everything. She said, here's what I was doing, and I was doing it because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I was just doing my job the way I knew it had to be done, and all of a sudden, she's a persona non grata, and nobody in the Democratic Party wants to even admit, back again,
Yeah.
to Orwell, they have done a total erasure of the history of Donna Brazile.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow, Fox is smart. They said, let's ask her if she wants to have a show. Now, that does two things, I believe. It gives a balance, which theoretically is needed, but secondly, it will expose some stuff that the Democrats never expected to ever be exposed.
Yeah.
And she's really articulate, even when she was on that team. And I don't agree with any of the philosophy of what they do generally. I was impressed by her and what she did and how she did it and how smart she was and how she followed the instructions and walked the walk they wanted her to.
Right.
And
right.
as soon as that election was over, they dropped her like a hot potato. And I'm saying, whoa, what? And she wrote the book. We read it.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed, and then she disappeared. Well,
Yeah.
somebody is smart enough to go get her.
Yeah. Well,
Should be interesting.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this damn report when it finally comes out. With the no collusion, no obstruction. Could be, who knows? But we're all itching to find out. But let's talk about your good buddy that I guess there's no more hair sniffers allowed, I guess, for your presidential nomination.
Yeah, about Joe. They're
yeah.
trying their best to bring him down, but
Yeah.
hair sniffing, I don't think is going to do it when you can think about the crotch grabbing of the guy who's already in.
Right.
If you have to use the criteria, well, that means he's probably not really qualified to be president yet until he does something like Trump did.
Yeah.
But no, they're trying to expose Joe, and if the best they can get is 6-year or 10-year testimonials from people who say that he did so and so and such as that, none of the stuff he did was sexual.
No, it wasn't.
And they're trying their best, so we'll see.
The old days of before the Me Too movement, you were able to
Compliment a person.
hug them, go, you smell good. What are you using in your hair?
Exactly.
And women were doing, there's a couple of pictures that you can catch online where some people are taking selfies with Joe.
Yep.
I believe the florist woman, the one that, she's got her hand right on his shoulder.
Yep.
I mean, to me, hey, I don't know. There's so many.
That should be interesting to see, but they're trying their best to bring him down. I think that's all about trying to discredit him because they know that he'll probably be the candidate. And the reason he's holding off is why should we spend any money or time on the nomination, not even looking at polls? There's no other person, Democrat, at the national level, who's as qualified to be president, even with the touching and the sniffing.
Yeah.
Nobody is qualified as Joe.
Yeah, Joe is, he's good experience, long history of doing good.
Right.
I mean,
I tell you, I have libertarian friends who argue with me about this and say he's just a crook, blah, blah, blah. And he stole information, plagiarized when he was at Syracuse Law School, etc., and all that stuff. I know all of that, but I know him as a human being and as a person. And I know that Joe Biden is an authentic human being who takes care of his friends. And has had some pretty traumatic background in his life of children and spouses dying.
Right.
So I like him.
Yeah.
They say, well, he's a white male. I say, see, the white male thing never came up with Bezo, whatever his name is, O'Rourke.
O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke.
Beto O'Rourke. That never came up when he was running against Cruz.
Right. Nobody brought
Now,
that
all of a
up.
sudden, when he loses to Cruz, then I start saying, oh, he's a privileged white dude who did all this stealing and stuff and hacking.
Yeah.
Well, I have to smile when the pendulum always swings to try to belittle somebody, but that can backfire, and I think it's going to backfire very much on the people who are already committed to Bernie or to the other 16 people who are running,
The other
and
the other 100 on the form. Yes.
and
Seems
they're
like,
saying
yeah.
they're saying Joe is trying to say Joe's a bad guy. Joe is
Well,
not a bad guy.
It's part of the smear campaign. They're all trying to smear him because they're afraid of him. They're jealous and they want him out there. But there's a way he can get through this touchy-feely / hair smelling.
And he even did a thing too.
I think you got to put to me that is not those kind of things does not reflect what he can do as a governmental.
And he's already shown what he can do internationally.
Yeah.
As the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Commission committee for about 10 years of the 30 years he was on that committee, he's proven. One of the things that he has proven is that he can work with the other side, and he always has been able to work with the other side.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, we'll catch up on our next episode
Yes.
to see some of these results of the collusion or no collusion, the Mueller report, and of course see how things are progressing
with the sniffer.
for the sniffer, Joe Biden. Is he the man? Is he the man with a plan? We'll have to find out. Anyway, Richard Boddie, again, always a good time.
Thank you.
And by the way, folks, if you could, give us ideas, send us some comments. Yes, by the way, the Dark Roca, Almond Roca, are a good sponsor. But do subscribe, tell your friends about us, and make comments and questions, any themes you want us to talk about. We'll be happy to do it for you. But again, we appreciate you watching. By the way, until next week, remember to search, dig deep, grab that big shovel, get the scoop, and by all means, you'll find the bottom line. Until next week, Mike Carlucci from Carlucci Broadcast International, Richard Boddie, greatest man on earth. Appreciate your time, Richard, and everyone. We'll see you next week. Be well and take care. Bye for now.